Hello YouTube, and welcome to the channel. So today, week 2, day 1. So basically this is just following on from last week. It's pretty much the same as what I did last week, but just more load really. And I've got to tell you, it was a much improved session. When I did day 1 last week really, I did have one failure on it, which was the stricter log press. And there was a few other bits I wasn't too happy with really, but it all got sorted today. So it's just starting off with face pulls, just as a little movement prep. This is after doing my main movement prep, but I don't really show that. But I basically just do 5 minutes on the bike just to warm up, and then just a 25-30 second plank, some bird dogs, and a few other movements just to prepare me for overhead pressing. So just 2 sets of 30 with the face pulls really. And then we're going to start off with the log clean and push press. So just clean it for 1 rep and then press for reps. So basically just 3 warm-ups and then 4 working sets. So first warm-up here, 47. So last week I did 4 sets of 6. Today I'm doing the same, 4 sets of 6 for my push press. And I did so much better today, it was so much easier. So if you notice when I'm doing the press, this time I'm keeping my head back on all reps. I'm only putting my head through on that last rep. So this is the last warm up now, 77 kilos or 170 pounds. Nice, light and easy, and that's it, and we're now ready to go. So I'm basically doing 4 sets of 6, same as I did last time. 1 second pulls on the chest, exactly as I did last week. So starting 85, there's the pulls. Another pulls, pausing for 1 second on the chest, exactly the same as I did last week. The only difference here this time though, is that I'm keeping my head back on all reps. I'm not putting my head through until the final rep. There we are, the final rep, head through, and there we are, down. And that really made the difference, because last week, when I was doing this, I was pausing on the chest, but then I was putting my head through on every rep. But that's not really necessary, and all that was doing was just throwing my position off and just making it a lot harder than it should have been, really. With this, the important thing is to just make sure that I pause on the chest for approximately 1 to 2 seconds, and that's it. That's all I'm looking for here, really. And head through on that last rep. So because of that, because I wasn't putting my head through, it was so much easier. Because you're not really supposed to put your head through until that last rep if you're doing reps, really. You don't really have to do that. And I find that if you put your head through on each rep, it just takes me out of my groove, takes me out of my position. Notice my feet are not moving at all this time. And it was so much better, and I wasn't getting so gassed this time, and I was able to concentrate. I'm just, there we go, head through on the last rep, there we are. This is the 3rd set now. Last week I went up to 95, but this time I went up to 100, and this was so much easier than last week. So this is the final set of 6 at 100 kilograms or 220. So notice here I'm really trying to own them rack positions and pauses. Once I'm on the chest, I'm really just trying to get comfortable with being on the chest, because when you go for a max, it is going to sit on the chest, and I need to make sure that my technique is absolutely golden, because I'm good at the clean, but when I get it to the chest, that's sometimes where I lose full form and I try to rush through it, and sometimes that leads to missed lifts. So I need to pause on the chest and get comfortable with having the log on my chest, trying to find that weightless rack position, and just try to just be good at just pressing from the chest. So now we're moving on to the log clean and strict press. So if you remember, last week was a real disaster on this, because I was putting my head through on every rep with the push press, and I was just getting out of position, I was getting gassed. So by the time I got round to doing the strict log, I had nothing left really. And last week I went for 85, and I was aiming for 8, and I only managed 7, and I was absolutely gassed, and it was just a complete disaster. So unfortunately I had to drop the weight. So last week for the strict press, I started at 85, failed, only got 7. So I had to drop to 62 to get 8, and then I went to 69. So this time I started at 72 just to be sure, and then this time I went for 85, and this time I was successful. What I'm doing now is what I should have done last week and what I should have been able to do last week. Because I took my time with the push press, and because I did it right and didn't put my head through, because I didn't lose my position, I didn't get so gassed. So by the time I got round to doing these, it was so much easier. And also I made sure that I took my time and just thought about what I was doing rather than just trying to rush it. This was a vendetta. I absolutely had to get this now. I don't like to fail, and I failed this last week, and there was no way that I was going to fail this again. And there we are, the 8th and final rep, head through on there. There we are. See, told you I could do it. There we go. Really pleased with that. That was really good. So that makes up for things from last week. So next week for the clean and strict press, I'll be dropping to 7, so that'll be 2 sets of 7. So more load, less reps. So moving on to loo raises now. Last week it was 3 sets of 12. So we've dropped to 10s this week. So this is good for shoulder stability, and really good for opening up them overhead positions. So yeah, I'm progressing the load on here. Got to make sure that you get strong with your assistance and not just the main lifts. But yeah, I was really pleased with today's session. It was a much better session than I had last week. I think where it was my first training session for about a week and a half, I was just not ready for it really. But I'm back to where I was now, so I'm really pleased with that. Strength is coming back now. So third and final set on the loo raise, 10 kilos, 22 per hand, 10 reps. And yeah, that was, I wouldn't say comfortable, but I could have done more. So next week we'll be dropping to 8s. So looking to do more load next week on this. Now we move on to close grip incline board press. So just doing 60 kilos times 6 for warm up. Since I've already done a lot of pressing, I don't really need many sets to warm up, so I just elected to just do this one warm up set. So I'm doing the 20 rep accumulation phase at the moment. Last week I did 62.5 for 20, and that was really easy. So I wasn't sure what weight to use. I was contemplating whether to go to 80, but I didn't want to risk it, so I thought, well, 75 seems a bit more reasonable. This should have been 20, but 20 was quite easy actually. I think I could have done anywhere between 23 to 25. So I ended up doing 22. This wasn't to failure either. Definitely could have got 23. I think I might even have been able to get 24, maybe 25, but I stopped at 22 because I didn't want to push this. I still wanted to at least try to leave a rep or two in the tank. It's not an absolute, although I'm going for 20 reps, I still want it to be around the RPE 9 kind of area. I still want to walk away knowing that I could have done a little bit more, which I could. So I was really pleased with that. I've added 2.5 kilos, 77.5 and 10 reps. That was actually quite hard. Actually, I'll say triceps are a small muscle, they do fatigue quite quickly. And I was going to keep that same weight and then do another 10, but I wasn't sure if I could do it, so I just dropped to 70 and did 10. And this was a little bit easier. When it comes to the drop sets, I'm not really that fussed about it really. So as long as I get the work done, as long as I get the reps in, it doesn't really matter too much. I'd rather go for less weight and get it than just increase the weight for no reason and then just fail it. So yeah, really good session. So after that I did Stair Master just for conditioning, but I didn't film that. And yeah, that was basically it for today really. So this is probably the shortest workout of the week. So yeah, next session we're going to be doing the wide grip deficit deadlifts again. So hopefully I can go up to over 500 pounds on that. So yeah, stay tuned, and that video should be arriving around Thursday kind of time.